For a phenomenal feature. Now, I have to tell you, I don't get to see Lucia Blinn that often, but every time she comes, there is this lyrical beauty in everything that she reads, and I'm always thrilled every time she's up here. So really, I want everybody to scream like you mean it because this woman is so worth it. Please give it up for a great feature from Lucia Blinn!
Thank you, Janet. I don't know.
I have no idea.
That looks okay. I think so. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
This is halftime. Assuming our souls are recycled, I was once an empress. You, a serial killer, or John the Baptist. The milk of amnesia, however, I have no memory of my empire. Do you remember your sentence or your severance? Rather than dying to start over, we might at midlife switch sides. Trade, say, bank accounts. Haves would become have-nots. A pauper would look in the mirror and see an heiress. An heiress would do windows in Paris. Welfare moms would wear Armani, Salvation Army. No, you protest. I worked hard for this Lexus, duplex, Rolex. So actually did I. The sticky wicket being, to the homeless, I am a have and a half. To Mr. Micro, barely a bite. Comparisons are odious, this game dangerous. Feasting is more fun than fasting. Doing with more marvelous than without, I think. Nothing to do but play this hand and wait for the next. Do excuse me though, I'm late for a fitting. If it isn't one ball gown, it's another. Spring break. On an icy gray morning many semesters ago, 5 of us piled into someone's car and laughed our way south, singing and re-singing a song we made up, eating something evil in Georgia, calling the Yellow Pages doctor at 2 a.m. and pulling finally into a quiet motel in a brilliant blue place ablaze with bougainvillea and birds of paradise, Fort Lauderdale. We, the inaugural crowd of college rowdies. Rowdy, but not dangerous. Coke was still just a cola. Heroin was a woman, and weed was what your mother did in her garden. Cigarettes, necking, and booze were as naughty as we got. On the sunny golden sands, far from the cold steel of Detroit, we slicked our pale skin with oil and tried not to look like we were looking for boys. One lanky Sam Keller, a classmate, but now suddenly a candidate, asked me out. I was 17 and green as a seedling. It was dark when Sam came by in his pistachio Buick convertible, the one with the portholes. The air in my hair was soft and scented with citrus. A shiny white moon hung high over the palms, and when lean blonde Sam leaned my way, every satiny inch of me knew this was as sublime a night as life was ever going to come up with. We came back to school, and my best friend, the ever so clever Cynthia, stole Sam from under me. Me, still 17, but rather less green ever after. The Last Supper. The tableau so deeply etched. A lifetime later, the mere words Greenwich Village bring back the anonymous brownstone. Cozy living room, glowing hearth, crock of pâté, scotch and Kent's aplenty, candlelit buffet, a roast con pollo in a clay pot, Chianti, laughter, Mozart. Life might have ended that night, quitting while ahead, but the host said, "You've got to meet our friend John. He'll love you." John, phoned in Riverdale, arrived, and I loved his green MG. and dinner the next night at his high-ceilinged club, and the filet he fixed the night after that might have been the beginning of ever after, had there been more dining than whining, had he not smashed the MG and ever called again. BC, BG. Before Google, you had a telephone. It was black, it rang, you answered, or you were out and didn't answer. Then you had call waiting, then a machine that answered, then your car had a phone, and then how did you live without a cell phone? Then you wrote, not spoke, via email. Did you see the cartoon? A man at a meeting says, "Hi, my name is Frank, and I check my email 100 times a day." Soon you were spun into a website, a BlackBerry, an iPhone, YouTube, MySpace, Facebook, instant messaging and texting. Now you're blogging and twittering, your every riveting thought and deed. Up next, a chip in your lip.
You know they've got Google glasses now. Is that scary?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
K and Company. The ad in the Times read, "Writer to put black words on white paper." My snappy reply landed me a job at the scary, fast-track advertising agency that founder Norman B. Norman ran like a tyrant. I reported to Kay Daly, the tiny blonde whiz of the 3-inch heels and pink Chanel suits. My first try at fashion copy elicited a disheartening response. They're just the wrong words, Kay stammered, waving a cigarette for emphasis. All right, for my next attempt, I pretended I was Kay, mimicked her designer voice and sophisticated style, and I was in. And soon scribbling away on Maiden Form's famed I Dreamed series and on campaigns for Hertz, Clairol, and Revlon. Fridays after lunch were fraught. You never knew who Norman had found expendable that week and who would be cut effective instantly. I had witnessed NBN mercilessly dressing down an account man and vowed to walk out were he ever to attack me. Never did. There I was with 2 windows on Madison Avenue. My career as thrilling as it was terrifying. It might have remained so had Marty not rung one day to say he had just taken a new job. We'd be moving someplace called Chicago.
Sounds like a version of The Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah, really. Missing redux. Things, it seems, are not bad enough. This morning on the crowded 151, a little red-hooded ingenue looked up at me and said, "Would you like to sit down? Would you like to sit down?" When exactly did I achieve the look of a woman who was asked that? True, I am on the sunset side of sexagenarianism, and yes, the ophthalmologist is keeping an eye on the ever-so-embryonic cataract. And what is that chronic twinge in my foot anyway? But would you like to sit down? Oh, please, do not ask me that again. Not till I bought and paid for and am actually wearing a flesh-colored elastic stocking.
Just stay close to the mic. People have a hard time hearing.
Oh, sorry, is this better?
Much better.
Okay. I'll start over. Oh, just kidding.
Should we clap on it?
Drowning in Tosh. 100 million for this condo. Do I hear 200, 1,000, a million, sold to Mr. Trump Turner Gates? Hey, want to buy a Bentley on eBay? How many Birkin bags does it take to see we need less, not more glitz at the Ritz? Spare me your Teresa Hines and diamonds as big as your fist. Remember when we didn't have billionaires by the jillion? What comes after a zillion? Hold the iPod and 10,000 tunes in my pocket. I want to hear the music of my muse while I await the second coming of Mother Teresa with her 3 changes of clothes. 500 clams for a solo supper of sushi? I'll have the tuna on rye. Sour grapes? Just a few gripes. Ruskin said every increased possession loads us with new weariness. I say, somebody dial this thing down. Left behind but not bereft. You've no idea what a technophobe I am, said my friend Pat, even as she in the next breath announced herself the new owner of an iPad 2. So it's official. Everyone's buying the next thing, and I am not. Mired in a sleepy other time, I limp along with my not very smart phone, aging MacBook, and vintage Kindle. I am not the one in a restaurant to look up the name of that actor in that movie we can't remember the title of. My phone will not take your picture or check the latest read this instant email. I cannot make a date with you unless I'm home with my elderly fraying Filofax. You have, the lot of you, left me behind as you zoom into still another realm of thrilling, life-changing must-have stuff. How disturbing is this to what passes for my peace of mind? How quickly can I finish this poem and take a nap? Consider the college dropout. John D. Rockefeller, Howard Hughes, Ralph Lauren, Ted Turner, David Geffen, Larry Ellison, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg. Schooling may be hazardous to your wealth. Leave nothing. Facing me as I hiked the airport in Phoenix, a young man's black backpack with white letters, leave nothing. A memo from the existential front. Perhaps I am to strip my closets, accelerate my deaccumulating, let go the debilitating fear that hangs on and on. Perhaps I am to leave nothing but a poem scribbled on the sand. Leaving. If Nora Ephraim can leave us at 71, she's spilling with energy, ideas, and talent, humor, and charm. A passionate cook with 10 different jams in her fridge. It isn't unthinkable that I, endowed with less, i.e. one lone jar of marmalade, could be rudely called away sooner than later. All those indelible dames, Jackie, Diana, Audrey, Grace, my own Irma, and life is a party Nina? None reaching 80. True, there is still Carlin at 98 and Ursula running the poetry group and volunteering at 100, their brains intact. But the march is unforgiving, unwilling or able to slow its pace. Best get on with it. There isn't a second to squander. Went missing. Google informed me that the term went missing is British. Wikipedia and I find it insufferable. True, I want to learn that whoever was missing is now found. What I wish is that went missing, and took with it, washed it down. Is there not a writer who can describe the act of imbibing other than leaning on that infelicity? Does not washed it down smack of ridding a car of its grit or a sink of its grime? Could they not perhaps write drank or sipped or simply enjoyed that Merlot? If only washed it down went missing. Call me Quixote. I bought an iPad on Tuesday. I returned the iPad on Wednesday. Call me a crabby Luddite, tilting at the windmill of too much. When is enough enough? Enough military and murder? Enough massacre and flags at half-mast? When is the coming of kindness? The solution. Shakespeare said the first thing we do is we kill all the lawyers. Lynn said that's taken out of context. I say we fire the Catholic priests, defrock the college of scarlet cardinals and all-mitered bishops. Armani refashions their opulent robes for the homeless. Calatrava reconfigures the Vatican into low-income housing. We Robin Hood proceeds from the stash of gold and jewels to the needy and deplete the ranks of the holier than who exactly, who pray, not prey on our children. Is there a deep enough rung of hell for these sanctimonious hypocrites? A Woody Allen character said that if Jesus were to come back and see what's happening in his name, he wouldn't stop throwing up. There's a memo to Marty, my dead husband. It's been 20 years now, and if you're thinking of returning, you will need some new eyes, an iPhone to make calls, to check email and look stuff up, an iPod to listen to Motown, Mozart, and Moby Dickens, an iPad to access Google, the phone book, dictionary, library, cosmic know-it-all. Start with Zuckerberg, Koch brothers, and Herman Cain. Check out bailout, drones and drought. Move on to global warming, global warring, and legitimate rape. Look up Midnight in Paris, Book of Mormon, Myth of Mormon, 50 Shades of Trash and Voter Suppression. You'll need to know that hybrid is not just for rose growers. Stream, now a verb, is how you see a movie. Kindle, now a noun, is how you read a book. Occupy is, well, complicated. Tweet, now no longer just for the birds, is how some choose to vent, and vent still means to blow hot air. Apples and blackberries are not what you eat, they eat you. The Cubs are still doomed if they do, which they don't. Your luggage now has wheels, although travel is now a travail of drama and trauma in airports where you will shed your shoes and be searched, and I won't be greeting you at the gate. A home office now means a home office. On the street, try not to stare at open-air breasts, long, flowy dresses that look like nightgowns, and bra straps. The young among us are busy bicycling and recycling, while most of our crowd are immersed in managing the issues, the increasingly insidious issues of inexorable human frailty. They're picking up speed, and there is never a cop when you need one. And finally, this is my homage to Casablanca. Take 2. Ilsa, having boarded the plane with Victor, realizes that she cannot live without Rick. She pulls out her pistol and demands that the pilot turn back. Captain Renault finds another friend. I live happily ever after. In this version, however, the film is a flop because its ineffable voodoo, the essence of its longevity, apart from those deathless lines, lies in leaving us, you, me, Rick,
with a broken heart. Thank you.